All right, let's dive into something that's, well, pretty complex and really personal for a whole lot of families. We're going to talk about an old social pressure that has, believe it or not, found a brand new target.
You know, we all start from the same place on this. Everybody in India knows this basic truth. The whole practice of dowry, or dahej, it's been seen as a social evil for a long time. It's a huge burden that has always been put on women and their families when it's time for a wedding.
But, and this is where it gets really interesting, the conversation is starting to change. A totally new kind of pressure is popping up in the marriage market, and it's basically flipped the roles. This time, it's aimed squarely at the men.
So to really get what's happening now, we have to take a quick look back at the old way of doing things. For generations, the dowry system meant that a woman's amazing qualities could just be ignored if her family couldn't pay up. It caused a ton of hardship.
And that brings us to the modern-day equivalent. There's this new trend, and it's often the bride's family that starts it. It's a non-negotiable demand for what they call a sarkari dulha, basically a groom with a government job.
And this slide just lays it out so clearly, doesn't it? It's like a mirror image. The crushing pressure that used to be on the bride's family for a dowry has now been turned into this intense pressure on the groom's family for a son with a government job.
I mean, just try to imagine this. You've got a guy who's hardworking, he's successful, he's doing great in the private sector, comes from a good family, and a really promising marriage proposal just falls apart. And the reason? It's not about his character or how capable he is, it's just because he doesn't have that sarkari nokri, that government job.
So you have to ask why. What is driving this laser focus on just one type of career? The answer really comes down to one single word: security.
For families who are looking for that government groom, their logic is built on these very specific ideas. They're looking at a future with guaranteed lifetime savings, this ironclad belief that the job is for life, you can't get fired, you get free medical insurance, and there are even benefits for the family after you pass away.
Okay, but we have to take a step back and ask, is this obsession really logical? Is a government job the only way to have a secure and happy life? Let's poke a few holes in this idea.
Let's just be practical for a second. A lot of these entry-level government jobs, especially the Group D ones, they start with a salary around 15,000 rupees a month. I mean, seriously, in today's world, is that really enough for a family to thrive on, to be truly happy?
And what about your potential to grow? Think about it. A really driven person in the private sector could probably build a kind of life and savings in just 10 years that might take someone an entire 40-year career to get in a government job. The potential is just worlds apart.
And that free Mediclaim, that big selling point, you can get a perfectly good health insurance policy for yourself for, what, maybe 200-300 rupees a month? Is it really worth giving up on a great partner over something that costs so little?
And this right here brings us to the absolute heart of the issue. It's this deep, often unspoken hypocrisy that so many people have without even knowing it.
So let's go back to that guy who's facing this demand. When he's the one being judged, and he's told his private sector job isn't good enough, he's insulted. He's thinking, wait a minute, why only a government job? Am I not hardworking? Does my character not count for anything?
But then, here's the twist. The very same guy gets a call from his mom about a proposal for his sister, and suddenly he's singing a completely different tune. He hears the potential groom has a private job, and he says, "Whoa, Mom, no way. What's the guarantee? Just cancel it. Find someone else."
And there it is, the hypocrisy, plain as day. The very person who hates this prejudice when it's pointed at him has zero problem enforcing the exact same standard when he thinks his own family's security is on the line. It's a vicious cycle that just keeps the whole problem going.
You know, this whole thing really forces you to zoom out and ask a much bigger question. Forget about the job title for a second. What should we actually be looking for in a life partner? What does real security even mean?
Because real lasting security, it's not found in a job description. It's found in a person's character. It's their work ethic, their drive, their ability to figure things out. A truly hardworking person is going to find a way to succeed and provide for their family no matter where they work. Private sector, business, you name it.
So at the end of the day, this is the choice that families are facing now. It's a choice between chasing a label, that government job tag, and valuing the actual person, their integrity, their ambition, their character. And that choice is going to define the happiness for the next generation. So what do you think is the right way to go?